One. Are we live? We're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hexagon TTRPG for another week of Geneset Rising. I'm your host, your DM Pep, and I'm joined by my players, Robert as Borbo, Brent as Rowan, Larissa as Ika, CJ as Levi, Simon as Caspian, Shy as Tessella. And did I miss anyone? I think it's just Bernia, but he's not here yet. But Bernia as Goop Daddy. Welcome, everyone. What did we do last time? Last time we had a bit of a flashback episode. So let's go back to the session prior to even that. The group arrived at the island after seeing or coming face to face with the great Leviathan, who seemed to be together with someone named Lafrina, who threatened the visitors on the island, telling them to leave or to die. And then after landing at the island, everyone sort of went their own separate ways. We had one group that went with David Rain to the headquarters of the High Wind Corps. And as that was happening, Tessella was taking a patient up to Nan's parlor. And just as she arrived, the place went up in flames. And before we cut back to the fire, let's go to the headquarters, down at the bottom of this great hill that makes up Port Fiogo, and take a close look at everyone within the headquarters. So there we have Borbo, Rowan, Ika, Trevor, and I believe that was it, with the captain following David Rain. The doors open up. You guys are following him in tow, and he leads you in. The captain kind of walks in with him, and you see the two of them conversing a little bit together before David kind of turns to everyone and says, we'll get you all settled in just a moment, but I need to speak with your captain for a minute. And the captain kind of like looks at all of you and goes, all right, we'll reconvene, shall we?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Nod.
Very well. What is it, David? And the two of them kind of walk off to these set of double doors that open up, and inside you see a relatively lavish office lined with bookshelves, and there is a large globe at the center of the room, but you only catch a quick glimpse of it before the doors close and the two of them are inside. As you're all standing there, sort of just like in this foyer of sorts, you hear a voice from behind you go, hello. Hi. And you see a small woman with dark hair, and she has like skin as black as night. Her hair is straight down, and she's wearing this like tight little suit, and she's got like a bundle of books and files under one arm, and she looks up at all of you and says, I'm the receptionist here. I'd love to help you if I can. What are all of your purposes here coming to Geneset? And you see she kind of like leads you over to her reception desk that she goes up behind and steps up onto a stool so that she's eye level with, or almost eye level with, the taller of you.
Ika's here, right?
Yeah, she's on your shoulder. Or last we left off that session, Ika was on your shoulders.
I was going to ask for starters. I'd like a stool, but this'll do.
Yeah, but I think Rowan just kind of just puts his hand briefly on you, Ika. Says, your purpose was important, so go ahead.
Well, how do I start with this? I'd like some information about the missing fleet, the High Wind Corps.
Oh, of course, of course. The missing members. Are you referring to? She flips through her pages, and she goes, "The remainder of the captain's crew, the ones that were stationed here at the last visit."
That be them.
Well, she pulls out a little thing and she hands it to you. On it is a list of names. And she goes, "These are the members of the group." And they went, they never returned with the delivery that they were supposed to bring here to Port Fiogo. It's been over a week that they've been missing. Unfortunately, I don't have any more details to share with you.
I'd like to skim over that list, see if I can see my precious Otto on that list.
You do not see his name on the list.
Hmm.
You do, however, see a name, and I will just bring this up to you. It was brought up at one point on the ship by one. Give me a moment here. My memory is escaping me.
A lot of names.
It's a lot of names. It's been a while since I brought this character up, so I'm having some trouble. Sulim Madir.
Oh, yeah.
Sulim had spoken about his sister, and he had mentioned her name, and that her name was Ashigai Kiberi.
Mhm.
And you do see her name on the list.
And I didn't know anything else besides her being his sister, right? Like, I'd like, I don't know if she would have like if she was like a co-worker of Otto's.
You can do like a history check.
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
Clunk. Ooh, not good. 7.
Okay. No, I think it was pretty much the first time that you had heard the name, or it was the first time that you heard the name, and
Right.
so seeing it here, it's just you're remembering the time that he brought up his sister. He didn't offer any more details either. He just sort of mentioned the name, saying that he was looking for her.
Right. And that's so that's just the names you know of, not you wouldn't happen to know about their professions or.
Well, if there's anybody in particular that you're looking for, we tend to try and log all the visitors on the island. I might have some information for you.
I'd like to lean in a bit closer to her.
And she
Just
kind of leans into.
Looking for a kind gentleman named Otto Lee.
Oh, of course. And she like immediately pulls back up, stands up straight, pulls out something from behind her desk, puts it down on the table, and pulls out a little card. It has a stamp of the High Wind Corps, the initials, and she kind of slides it over, and it is Otto's card. And she goes, "He's currently stationed at the research facility in Terra Frenetica."
Terra Frenetica. And do you happen to have any complimentary maps of Geneset for us?
Well, I do have this, and she pulls out a map. But what you see is the general shape of the island. It's not very detailed, and it marks 4 major sections. One is Port Fiogo, where you are currently, and then there are 3 other locations, or rather 3 points within 3 larger regions. And so, just give me a second here.
Yes, sir.
You see.
Do you see what I see?
So you see the 3 regions. There's Arvo Dolera, and what you can only assume as like the capital or the city or the tribe or clan or whatever you want to call it, is known as Hearthroot. So Hearthroot within Arvo Dolera. and that is the easternmost portion of the island. The southern portion is Absalom, and within it is Liberde. And then the westernmost is known as Aquavita, and within it is Sal Magica.
Aquavita and Sal Magica.
And sorry, there's actually a fifth. At the center of the island is the research facility, the one you are most interested in. And she goes, I'm terribly sorry it's not more detailed, but unfortunately here, especially, and she outlines with her finger the main section, the big middle mass of the island, Terra Frenetica, it is changing constantly. It would take far too many resources to map it out adequately. So we make do with guides, which I can refer you if you'd like.
I would very much appreciate that.
Of course. And she, from under the desk, you hear her kind of like rip some sort of paper. And then she puts it down on the desk and she takes a stamp of some kind and presses it up against it. And there's a faint blue glow. And as she takes it off, the initials of the Highwind Corps are in it. And she passes it to you. And she goes, if you go to the guild, just slightly up the hill, the center of Port Fiogo, you will find plenty of people who will be willing to take you through Terra Frenetica. This card here will act as payment. As you're new here, we offer these for first-time visitors, and we will take care of the payment with the guild. You don't have to worry about it.
Thank you kindly, Missy.
I will say, though, that it is that I do encourage that you find yourself a guide. I understand some visitors are quite keen on exploring themselves, but it is quite dangerous.
I completely understand. Don't you worry, I ain't reckless. Brave but reckless. I ain't reckless.
Good. I'm very glad to hear that. And now, is there anything else I can help you with?
I could go for maybe a little drink right now.
Oh, well, there are plenty of vendors throughout the port. I'm sure you'll find something that suits your fancy.
I'm sure I will.
But
Thanks
if you're
again,
looking
Barton.
for just some water, of course, there are many fountains from which you can drink from.
I think for the long journey ahead, I'm going to need a little something stronger than water, but thank you kindly.
Of course. And she kind of looks at the rest of you and says, is there anything else I can help you with?
I got a question.
Of course.
So, first off, just out of character, how much do we know about Ika's backstory in terms of like who she's looking for? Like, how much details do we know?
I feel like I would have told them quite a bit. Not everything like super like intimate details, but like like I wouldn't go into like a whole history, you know,
Yeah.
unless they want to know. But no, I think I would have interested them at this point.
Okay, because is there any way for Borbo to do some type of history check regarding just like what she was naming out the 5 different like regions? Is there anything he could do to like see if there is one region more dangerous than the other? Is there something we should look out for? You know, like little things like that.
Right here, right now. Oh, like
would Borbo know that any of this information prior, kind of thing?
Not really. Do you have like cartographer's tools?
No.
Or like navigator's kit or something? No.
I don't have fingers.
No, in this moment, you have no idea. You're just sort of like taking her word for it. I mean, you did also like first thing you saw arriving at the island was a giant sea monster tipping over like a giant ship. So I don't know. I mean, it's up to your
I was just
interpretation.
curious. I was just curious if like you would know anything. But yeah, that's good. That's it.
Okay. Do you have any questions? Would you? All right.
I look at Borbo, and then I look over to this receptionist. What sort of creatures could we find on this island? Or is it solely inhabitants of Genementals? Or would there also be things to be wary of in the wilds if one were to make their way or explore or be with a guide?
Oh, I'm happy you asked. And she pulls out a binder from underneath and she opens it up and turns it to you all and lifts it up, and it stays sort of just raised at an angle. And she starts flipping through the pages. And she goes, Genementals make up only a small portion of the creatures here on Geneset. And as you might have guessed, a majority of the creatures are elementals, single element creatures that are born from the magic force known as ether, which is very concentrated here. You will find elementals in almost every nook and cranny, but that does not mean that you won't find other types of flora and fauna. Here, almost everything is mutated by the elements, so they share some similarities, but there are both living and more corporeal beings. I can go into detail on the different types of creatures you can find here if you'd like.
Rowan definitely looks at his companion. If anyone else has something they'd like to ask, then please feel free to do so. But I should like to stay here a while and learn what I can of the types of beings and things we should do if we encounter them.
I think that'd be mighty handy too.
Well, just the two of you then.
No
is Caspian
objections.
with us?
Pardon me?
Is Caspian with us?
Caspian and Levi are not here with you right now.
Okay.
It's the four of you. Trevor is here right now, but he's in the back.
We're just playing a little some little bongo in the back. Yeah, absolutely. Then let's stay a while. Listen.
Perfect. I would love to give all of you a small little briefing. And she closes the binder and tucks it under her arm. And as she's turning away from the table, you see she actually has a second set of arms, and they grab a few things just as she starts walking away. She starts sort of walking down the hall, leading you guys eagerly to another room, a little bit of a conference room type thing. There is a larger table, and at the center of it, there's sort of a bit of a metal basin that's sort of been built into the center of the table. And just to confirm, as she's walking there, I did hear Rowan and Ika were interested in this. Not everyone sort of has to tag along at this point. People can go off and explore and do their own things if you'd like. Borbo?
Yeah, I think as you're talking about it, where I was interested is just the clanning. So, and especially as you're going into details. So I think he would, at some point before you guys scurry off to the room, I think he'll excuse himself. And he said he's I'm just gonna look around the neighborhood, kind of thing. Just walk around, get a feel. I think it's his first time on the island, so he wants to get more about the people and stuff.
Perfect. Yeah, so the group kind of splits up here. Two of you go with the receptionist. Borbo leaves, and then Trevor, right at the last second, you hear from the down the hall where the captain was. David Rain actually calls out and goes, "Trevor Boom, I'd like to speak with you." And he calls him into the room with them.
Trevor Boom to the office, please. Trevor Boom to the office.
Oh, suspended. And let's see what. So we'll just jump away for a quick moment, Ika and Rowan. Borbo, you step out, and the Highwind Corps headquarters is quite close to the the docks. So you're just a few minute walk away from there. You did see all those merchants that sort of immediately flooded the dock and were trying to, bargain and make deals with you guys as you were walking off the ship before they were shooed off by the captain. Where would you like to go?
The fish market.
The fish market. All right, the fish market. You go.
If it exists, I'm not sure. I'm assuming so. It's like a big city, right?
It's pretty. Yeah, the port is quite lengthy. It's
Is-
all along the coast.
Is there fish by the port city?
No, the oceans are dead.
There are plenty of fish, very odd fish, and as you kind of get closer um, uh, to the fish market or the market itself, you start smelling all the smells of a port and a fish and salt and water, and you're sort of walking down along it. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Some type of like, cause I have some like leftover fish stuff, maybe to sell it, and also just like trying to find like the greasiest freaking person. Like, definitely he wouldn't go into like any well-established like he wants to look for like the side streets kind of thing, and even like the smaller shops that are like the wooden shacks. I think he's keeping an eye out for that because he prefers that. It reminds him of his like hometown and all that. So.
Okay, yeah. So as you're thinking about all that, walking down, you get close to, like, you start passing close to where the captain's ship is, the Curio Nimbus, and you catch a glimpse of 3 of your crew members. There is Gilbert with Levi and Caspian. Now, so the 3 of you are there. You guys see Borbo approaching. What are you guys doing? I mean, the Gilbert is mentioned he needs to get some materials for cooking, so he's going to go check out the market. What about the 2 of you?
I suppose finding some more replacements for the ship's medicine cabinet would be a good idea.
Do I notice them? Or
You
am
do
I like
notice them.
Oh, I do notice them.
Okay.
Can I
Are they-
not be with them?
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm trying to gain information, listening to what people are saying, kind of, listening
Can
to
I
a bit
not?
of gossip here, a
Yeah.
little gossip
Okay. Well,
here.
so what I'll say is that the 3 of you are just like getting off the ship, and then you like immediately just break off. So Borbo, you see them all coming, and then Levi kind of breaks off. Okay, so you're going to go get information. You're getting medicine. Borbo, you're looking for fish. Gilbert kind of like waves off at you and goes, "Borbo, hey, what's going on, big guy?
Looking for some fish.
Hey, me too. You want to help me with the selection? I was actually thinking there was a bunch of stuff you caught that you wouldn't move just, over the last few weeks that I've been keeping. Maybe we could sell it ourselves."
It sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. Here, let's see what they got.
Yeah, so I'll definitely check out the stalls. And also, like, yeah, if there's any, I guess, like, he's looking for information as like a secondary mission as well. So he's trying to get to know the locals a bit more. So I think he wants to strike up a conversation if there's anyone that seems to be like they would know something.
Okay. Now, the 3 of you are going through the market with your own goals. So tell me what you would like to roll for the particular things that you're looking for. So you're looking for fish. Robert, you can give me a
Fish roll.
I was thinking, I'm like, wait, is fishing an actual skill? It should be.
D100, please. Let me roll a D100.
I guess that would be survival.
Hmm.
You can give me a bit of a perception or survival. Simon, you can give me a medicine or perception. And CJ, are you stealthing or are you
I'm
investigating? Maybe.
I mean, I want to be doing both, to be honest with you. I guess stealth first, because it's not worth getting caught. None of this is worth getting caught.
Okay. Now give me that stealth.
All right.
And which of you two is the disembodied head
That's me.
or disembodied voice? Sorry, not head. Okay. You can't see him, but he's here.
13.
He's
for me.
off on the second screen.
13 for the stealth.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to try very hard to sort of not, attract any attention to yourself. It's quite busy at the market. There's somebody is always busy with something, moving something, transporting something, talking to somebody else, that you feel like you could just sort of slither your way through it.
Oh, hell yeah. Could I potentially... Could we use this as like a... When you were doing this, you heard like... like a future maybe history check or something. I don't get anything juicy. I'm just stealthing around. But maybe a future scenario, I'll be like, wait, I heard something.
Maybe. I mean, just you're sneaking around you're sneaking around for now.
Yeah. Okay.
And you get away from Borbo and Caspian. And you see there are quite a number of different types of shops here. It's not just fish. There is a lot of food, and not all of it looks like fish or things from the sea, but you surmise that they might be some strange looking sea creatures. But you notice that there's a lot of like magic item stalls too, and like gem stalls. The gem stalls in particular, they are built up onto these platforms. And so like the largest of the gems, and it seems like a bit of a, like the popular style of shop, like shop front, where they have like the largest of their gems like on display higher up on like the shop window, if that makes sense. It's not an actual window, it's just like an opening.
Mhm.
But the gems are sort of like floating there, and you see a wide variety of different colored gems, all coming within 6 different colors, representing the 6 different elements.
Would you say these gems are priced truly outrageously? truly outrageously?
Truly outrageous.
Do I notice any like security around these as opposed to the fish one?
Give me, how are you checking to see if there's like, you're just seeing if there's people keeping an eye on stuff?
Yeah, if the foot traffic is like, there's very clearly some guys who are posted around here.
It seems like for the gem merchants in particular, when you are like browsing, the merchant himself is always between you and the actual merchandise, and what you're like observing with is like some sort of scrying orb. It's like this thing that you like look through to see the gems on display, and then you pick one out.
That's actually sick. Okay, interesting.
So it's not like there's security, but it's just like if somebody was trying to just grab one of these, it would be very obvious.
Yeah. Okay, good to know. I'll pocket that. And I'll pocket a gem. No, just...
Pockets that info. Okay. So you're browsing for a little bit in secret. We'll jump to Caspian. Can you give me a little bit of a roll?
17 perception.
17. Okay. Yeah. So you find a little hut, a little further in. You kind of have to like walk down some of the streets, get a little bit farther away from the docks themselves, and you find a small, what seems to be like a herbalist hut of some sort. It's quite aromatic when you approach. You're getting like a waft of all sorts of, spices and herbal medicines and things like that, dried plants and things. And when do you enter?
He's he'll head on in. He's like, hello, the shop. I'm looking just to replace a few of the basics.
you hear like this little popping noise from the back, and there is like there's clutter all over the place in here. Like the tables and things have herbalist kits, and they're totally unorganized. And you see kind of this big mushroom cap at the back of the store, and you just hear this kind of like this little popping noise.
Hello? Is anybody here?
And then you see kind of a bubble appear from behind the mushroom cap as it floats off towards you. And when it pops, it goes, "Welcome to my store."
Oh, thank you. I appreciate the greeting. I'm not sure how to find anything here. You seem to have your own method of organization. Would you be able to supply me with this list of medicines, please?
And we'll say you're like standing near the doorway as you're saying this, and the mushroom cap lifts up a little bit, and you see there's this kind of little guy. He's maybe like 3 feet tall underneath it, and he pulls himself up. He's got these little beady eyes, and he reaches behind him and he grabs one of those bubbles and puts it over his mouth, and the thing kind of inflates. He goes, "Oh, of course, come here. Let me see what you have." And he takes your paper, and he looks through it, and he goes, "Oh dear. Most of these are quite common, which we don't have here, but I am expecting a shipment today."
Wait, you don't have the common herbs?
No, well, many of these don't grow naturally here.
Oh, I see. So common yet uncommon here. Got it. All right. You're expecting a shipment today, you say?
Yes. Well, actually, I've been expecting a shipment for the last few days, but I saw the ship come in today, so I should be receiving more.
Right. Would he have known that they're handing off the medicinal herbs that he would then use to restock his own cabinets? Or?
Yeah, it's like you don't necessarily know exactly what's being delivered. Like you're not privy necessarily to what's inside the shipment containers, but you do know that it does happen from time to time. That like, something that you might be looking for might actually just be delivered straight to the island.
Well, in that case, I guess I'll come pick it up tomorrow once everything has been arranged and received.
Of course. But please do feel free to browse around. I do have some alternatives if you would be interested in.
Oh no, alternative medicine.
Well, I'm not too familiar with alternatives, but if you wouldn't mind explaining their properties.
Of course.
Yeah, he'll just spend time just learning about the different stuff from the guy.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and we'll say that you get like some pretty decent. He'll give you like a few interesting types of herbs too that might have like some special effects. But for now, we'll just leave it at that, and I'll give you a list later.
Yeah.
Okay, and Borbo, you are looking for fish.
I rolled a 17 on survival.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I mean, you're walking down, and tell me if I'm wrong with this, but it feels like Borbo is pretty simple. Like if you see a stall with a massive hall, you're probably going to be more interested in it. The bigger, the better.
Yeah, that's an agreeable statement.
Okay. Yeah, so there's quite a few variety in terms of large beasties that have been wrangled, and you come across one that has what looks like a It's like a sea serpent of some kind. But it's just the head. The rest of the thing is not here. It's just the head, and the head itself is like half your size. It's like just the head is half of you.
So it's way bigger. It's like a 6-foot head, but it's massive. Holy moly.
Yeah, and it's presented, and then there's like it's displayed around all these other types of like fish and crustaceans and things that are like beautiful, or not beautifully, but they've been like organized around the head, and it's some sort of like display, and like it's all on this like bed of it's not necessarily ice, but there's kind of like this chill, cool mist coming off of it to keep everything fresh.
What kind of merchant? I'm kind of now I'm like looking at the merchant because I'm at least curious about the story that like. So like, what kind of merchant is manning that specific stall?
So he's actually like this calico looking cat. He's got like these spots, and he's got classic fisherman hat. He's got an apron on, and he's just sort of like standing there, and he's like talking to some locals who are coming by, and he's every time someone walks by to like get something, and he goes and he points at the big head, and he goes, "Hey, I give you it all. You can take it, and you can cook for the entire family." And nobody's buying it. It's too huge for anybody. But he's trying. He looks a little greasy. His whiskers are kind of like all bent out of shape. Yeah, he's just a merchant.
Okay, Borble, is there any way to like, because like Borble has this whole thing with like using like animal and beast parts to craft things. Looking at that like head, is there a way from some type of roll I can make to see if there's a piece of it that can be used, whether it's like a tooth or some like this, I don't know, a skull of something, or
yeah,
like,
well, with that 17, you can tell that the spines, the scales, the teeth that you can see here, probably the bones too, would all make they would all be excellent materials for weapon crafting.
so Borble walks up and he's like, Tell me the story about this guy."
Ah, hey, my big friend, how are you? You want to know about how I slayed this beast, huh? I'll tell you all about my journey as I sailed out on my single sloop, and I brought with me my great hatchet. Saw the thing poking out of the water, hunting for schools of fish, and I came by blistering speeds, and I sliced it in one go. Very little damage to the flesh, perfect execution in the kill, perfectly ready for you to purchase, my friend.
What's the cost?
Low price. 10 gold pieces.
How much money does Borble have? I didn't actually. Well, wait, I have 0. Yeah.
Well, this
I
is
never
an
added
interesting topic, actually. Let's all roll for our starting gold. Let's
Hell
do it.
Yeehaw!
So in the your equipment section, there should be an option. I don't have it open in front of me. If somebody can just double
Equipment.
check, where you can add like starting gold.
Probably
And I
what
think it's
equipment?
different based on your
Still
class.
naked. I have to remember to add equipment before we fight.
Yeah, I mean, I have 10 from existing.
I already had, but I'm assuming that was just like when I just made the character.
I think I
so-
made the character.
Yeah,
It
you
was
might
like, you did.
already have then. But if it's just 10, let's do like the roll to it here. I'll look up what each class is supposed to get.
Yeah, because apparently I have 31 gold, and I don't think that's correct. But
Yeah, I have not. I have
Oh,
not
okay,
checked
rolling
this.
in it.
I have 31 gold just on this sheet for some reason.
yeah,
Okay.
I have a none. I
I
also
didn't
don't
do
have any
this.
starting equipment. So
That's
I'm
fine. That's fine.
still
I think
naked.
that's reasonable to just have on you. All right. Well, so if you are, wait, let me open more rows here. Okay, so let's see. If you are we have 2 paladins, so let's do not paladins, barbarians. Let's do the barbarians first. You each get 2d4 times 10 gold. So you just add that to your current gold if you have already.
Oh, fun.
And then if you are a
2d4
fighter,
times 10?
2d4 times 10, yeah. If
Wow,
you are
okay.
a fighter, you get 5d4 times 10. So that's for you, Robert.
5d4 plus 10
Times 10.
times 10.
Ika, you also get 5d4 times 10.
5d4 times 10.
Levi, you get 4d4. You're a rogue, right?
5D.
I'm gonna assume he's a rogue. Simon, you are you a multi-class?
Yeah, but D&D Beyond gave me 8, so I got it.
You got it. You got it.
What does Trevor get?
Trevor is a bard. Bards get 5d4.
Hells yeah.
5d4, but not times 10.
No, it's times 10. It's times 10.
You don't have
The
to
only
get
Terrible
me,
bards just get 5d4.
The only ones that don't get times 10 is the monk.
Amazing.
That's a solid 100 gold. Ain't too shabby.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
What about the old rogue?
The old rogue gets 4d4.
44 gold times
44.
10. Yikes.
This guy's fucking rich.
Make a pretty penny on the farm.
That is true. All right. Yeah, so you have money, Borbo. You could buy this if you wanted.
He's definitely buying it.
Okay.
140. Is there gonna be how far is the ship? Is there gonna be a problem carrying it?
You're thinking about this before you buy it?
No, it's already.
No, you bought it already.
Oh no, not yet. But it's gonna happen. It's happening.
Oh, okay.
Or we're just calculating the
He goes,
distance.
10 gold pieces for the head of a beast. Many uses. You
I'll
can make
do
a
it.
big soup with it.
So yeah, Borbo pulls out 11, and gives it to him. 11 gold.
What is? I'm sorry, but it was only 10 gold. Here you go. A common mistake visitors make around here. Please.
Oh wow, he takes the gold back. It's like, I thought there were taxes.
No, I'm very nice, but some might get offended by that.
So yeah, Borbo just attempts to pick the head up. How heavy is it? It's in his strength, I'm assuming.
What's your strength?
16.
You could totally pick that up. But as you go to pick it up, he goes, hey, if you want, I could have it delivered for you right now. For a little fee.
He just doesn't respond. He just picks it up, and then he heads his way towards the ship.
Okay.
It's too big.
Pleasure doing
to carry
business
around.
with you. All right, he's gone. And then as he was watching you go, Gilbert kind of approaches him and goes, I see some of the other fish you got there. Maybe we can do a trade. He goes, oh, you have some fish of your own, huh? And then the two of them start talking. You're gonna carry it back to the ship.
It's not too far, right? The ship's like
It's fine for you. It might be a little bit, might take a little while. You're navigating sort of the narrow dock of Portofiego, and there's all sorts of people here, and you're trying to navigate through them with this massive fish head.
yeah. I'm gonna try to head to the like the cooking stall of the fish of the ship, and just kind of put it there next to the coolers and stuff.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it takes up a big section in the kitchen. That it's a little bit cumbersome actually. Takes up some space in the entrance.
And stinky.
All right. So write that down for me, Robert. Write down that you have the head of a giant sea
Massive
serpent.
fish.
And I will give you the materials that you can get from that later.
No problem.
And let's quickly move back to the Highwind Core. Trevor is here now. Trevor, before you got here, you were called into the office of David Rain. You're in trouble, mister. And you're there with, no, I'm just kidding. You're there with Captain Baltimore Clipper. And so the three of you are in David Rain's office. It's quite fancy office. It's got this large globe at the center of it. He has a study desk and that there are like many bookshelves lining the walls, all filled with a manner of colorful tomes and different books. Yeah, so you're in the hall, and David Rain goes, "Please, Trevor, come here. I'd like to speak with you."
Can I just ask, the globe is in the hall or it's in his office?
It's in his office.
But I've already seen it? Or
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
see
it
like
right
the door's open, so you're getting like a glimpse inside of the office.
Oh, okay. And he asks me to go in the office.
Mhm.
As I walk in the office, I go, "Of course, absolutely. I'd love to chat." And I just want to clock the globe. Does it have anything on it, or it's just like a representation of the world or something?
So it's like it has. Give me either a perception or like an investigation.
I would love to do that for you. I would absolutely love to. They're the same. Where's a gosh darn d20? When I need one. That's a 12 on the die, so plus 15.
15. Okay. Yeah. So you know that this is actually not you. You've seen, I think, some some fairly, maybe not detailed, but some as detailed as they typically get maps of like the world or globes of the world, and this one is different than those. It's only got, and I think you recognize right away the locations and the surrounding landmass of areas where the Highwind Corps is stationed. And so you see like where you came from is clearly on the map, but like the rest of that continent is sort of not there.
Okay, so just like East Hook is there, but the rest of Vast like doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's just kind of like fades. It like there's sort of this raised depiction of the landmass, and then it just sort of like fades farther out.
Is there like trajectories for their shipments and stuff like that?
Yeah, there's like markings and like little pins and things in it.
Just take note if I can, as best as I can, with the 15 investigation. And anything else in the office that catches my eye?
With a 15 investigation, you see that a lot of these, upon closer inspection, these tomes on his bookshelves are not actually books. They're like, they look like tablets of some kind. They're like these almost like digital devices. And so they're like lined up, I guess more like DVD discs, really. They're kind of like lined up in straight rows, but some are thicker, some are thinner. But you're not necessarily sure what's on them.
Okay, interesting. Sir, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Right. You as well. And he's looking at the collection of like boarding passes that the captain had taken from everyone. And so he's like flipping through them, and he stops on the one that you gave the captain, and he's like taking a look at it. And you see he's looking at it very closely as if he's seeing something on it that you can't really see. And he kind of peers at it, and he goes, "I can't believe it. I swore. I told him to choose at random, and he goes and brings me his protege. All right, whatever." And he rips it, and he goes, "I'm happy to have you, Trevor Boom. My name's David Rain. I'm the Newgate Division member here on Geneset. More specifically, here in Port Viogo. There are a few others of us scattered throughout the island, but this is what I manage. Can I get you anything? Would you like something to drink? Sorry, it's been haven't had a new member join us in quite some time. But there's a bit of a process here. But first a drink." And then he kind of hands you, he just pours something out of a little flask and hands it to you.
Yeah, into like a cup?
Yeah, a little cup.
All right. I'll just, the cup like sinks into my hand.
The liquid just kind of like disperses.
Yeah, exactly. And then it just pushes itself back up.
Yeah,
Thank
pours
you.
himself one. gives some to the captain. Captain goes, "No, thank you." Goes, "Very well. All right. So, you're joining the High Wind Corps.
Apparently.
Well, you come at a bit of an awkward time. With, anyways, let's all figure that out together, shall we?
I'm
But
here
first-
to help. Whatever I can do, sir.
I do appreciate that. Now listen, let me figure out exactly what that is that I need you to do. And he kind of like walks over to his desk and he fishes for something. One of those tablets he pulls up and he holds it up. And you see he kind of like reaches behind his head and he takes out a little something and like puts it down and then takes something out of the tablet and then puts it into the back of his head. And he goes, "Oh, Trevor, you were given something."
Of course.
And he puts the tablet down, he looks at you and he goes, "May I see it, please?"
I was absolutely given something. And it was I'd take out
Yeah,
Rodney?
Yeah, the rod on your hip there.
Yeah, Rodney.
Mhm.
This is my rod.
Don't say it like that.
I can't say it any other way.
And he grabs it.
Kind of like don't let go initially.
Okay.
Like, oh, okay.
And he takes it. And then he puts it down on the desk and he kind of like hunches over it and looks at it and gives it a once.
Be careful with that.
Of course, of course. Very interesting. I'd never seen it before. All right. Well, I'm happy to say that your mission is quite simple. And he hands you back the rod.
Thank you.
And through all this, Rodney does not say anything.
Of course.
He goes, your mission is quite simple. You're to log as much of the elemental energy and magic of the island inside that device there. Collect as much as you can. Kill as many elementals as you can. Find as many ley lines as you can. Sources of ether. That there will compile it all for you.
Sure thing, Professor Oak.
This is the opportunity of the lifetime.
This is quite the responsibility. This device here will tell us what we need to know about the island. Answers that have gone unquestioned and unanswered for many years.
Questions that have gone unanswered. Answers that have gone
Unquestioned.
unquestioned. I mean, in a way.
Blind faith.
We didn't know to ask the question.
Listen, it's been a long day, all right?
The answers were always there. And I'll be the one to bring them to you via Rodney.
Thank you.
I mean, the rod. I haven't named him. It. God damn it. I know. Shut up.
Rodney. I mean, you do what you have to do.
Huh?
It's fine.
Yes,
It's
of
fine.
course.
Carry on. Carry on. Before you go, actually, no, I keep forgetting the procedure. Okay, I'll have the receptionist. She's got to implant you.
Implant you with a rod.
Should be easy enough.
Well, yes, that's a little bit of a hurdle that we might have to get around. I don't know exactly how that's going to work. Maybe it'll be a special case. But anyways.
It's not supposed to work. If you get my meaning. I have one request, Captain. And I look at the captain.
Speak your mind.
I'll need help. I'm not much of a combatant myself. And if I'm to brave the dangers of this island, I think I'll need the help of one Rowan, the Leviathan Breaker, Rowan Alebelly, Rowan Flameheart. He'll need to be beside me day in and day out to ensure my safety and continued success of this mission.
Right, right. Well, I actually do think you're onto something there, Trevor. I want Rowan to explore the island. I don't want him stuck on my ship. If you can get him to go with you, that would be great. I would love that. And David Rain kind of steps in and he goes,
My muse.
plus, the island is rather dangerous. It's better to travel in groups. You are right. Whether you're good at fighting or not. If you'd like, you should also go and check the guild, the Adventurers Guild, or the Guiding Guild. You can get someone to take you through Terra Frenetica. It'll be easier for you.
Potentially.
Yeah, I'll give you one of these. And he goes to his desk and he takes out this, rips off a chunk of this fancy-looking paper and stamps it, and hands it to you. And he goes, you can get yourself a guide for free. Well, it's not for free. We'll take care of the payment for you. You're part of the Highwind Corps. We'll accommodate you.
I very much appreciate that, sir. You're a stand-up guy. My mentor, well, didn't tell me much, but he had nothing but good things to say about you. What exactly is your connection, might I ask?
Oh, we worked together for some time.
Enough said.
Yes, quite so. If you want that story, go gather some data for me.
Fetch quest. On the way.
All right. Well, you can go wait in the reception hall, and the receptionist will be with you.
But what am I waiting for? Should I not just go?
No. Do not go. You have to get implanted first.
Right. Yeah. Of course. The implant.
Or if you do go, you have to come back. All right.
Sure. Of course. I'll definitely come back and get implanted. Absolutely.
Perfect. It's really not that bad of an experience, honestly.
That's great. I leave.
Too awkward.
Slip through the crack in the door.
Just slide down the chair.
And right as you slip through the crack in the door, you suddenly hear the sounds of bells ringing in the distance. And they begin to grow. Ding, 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 ding. And all of a sudden, there is a ringing inside the very headquarters that you are in. Everyone here begins to hear this. Those of you in the conference room being taught about elementals, those of you at the market, and you hear this ringing. Ding, 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 ding,
Jesus, I'm sorry I didn't get implanted. I'll come back.
Get him! He's got to get implanted. Ding, 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 ding. 15 guys storm through the main door and they all tackle you to no effect. No. So the bells start ringing. They start blaring. The doors behind you swing open as David Rain and the captain kind of step out a little bit confused. The receptionist steps out of the office, and there's a few other employees here of the Highwind, or members of the Highwind Corps, that are kind of all looking around. And one of them comes out into the hall from outside, and he goes, "There's a fire on the hill in the Verdant Hills." And they go, "What? What kind of fire?" And he goes, "Wildfire." And that's where we're going to take our little bio break. And when we get back, we are going to jump to Tesella and see what is going on with the wildfire.
Amazing.
Screaming and crying in sadness.